Well, good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. I know I'm running just a couple minutes late this morning. I do hope that you will please forgive. So, what are we going to be doing today? What are we all here for? Well, it would be nice if the music would turn on because I hear that we're sitting in silence right now, but it'll catch up with us eventually. So, my name is Wendy, and it is a delight to get to hang out with you here this morning. Today, we got a little bit of a bonus session. So, we're going to not have a new verse this week, but we are going to be kind of giving a refresh and a look back on what we've been working on, our journey through James with Color Me James, and our bonus session. What is our bonus session today? It's a patriotic bonus because today is July 3rd. Tomorrow is July 4th, and in America, that is going to be our national holiday. I'm getting a little freaked out why the music's not working. Anyways, so what we're going to be doing is a bonus session. So how do I rock? Some red, white, and blue. Well, okay, let's how do I rock some? It's Ruby Woo and Sparkle Lashes. So let me show you this. Woo-woo! Oh my gosh. Yes, I did find them. Sparkly lashes. So we are going to be playing with those today. And of course, all of this is geared toward an over 40 look, as that is me. And for some of you hanging out here with me live, that is you too. So this is going to be fun. I am super excited. So I hope you're going to grab some red, white, some blue. If that's not your thing, if you're in another country, then whatever your national colors are, whatever colors your flag has, whatever it is that you're going to be playing with today, bring it on. You're going to need two kind of equal darks, and then you're going to need a white. So whatever color choice you have, whatever palettes you're going to use, grab your palettes, grab your lashes, grab your brushes, and get on back here and let's have some fun today. Okay, well, if what are we doing? Can't play the video clip. Okay, so it's going to be that kind of a day. Well, let's pretend like we just saw the intro video clip for the podcast because I don't know what's going on here, but something's being a little wonky. So we're just going to press on. I am not going to let that steal my joy today. So that's okay. We can move on without that video. So let's see if our slides are actually going to can't play. Okay. Well, that's a lot of fun. You've already told me that. Let me see if I can get over here and if we'll actually progress to the next slide. Can we? Yay! Okay. So, our foundation verse for this podcast is I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And that is Psalm 119, verse 11. Now, I feel a little bit of oppression happening this morning. So I tell you what, let's do a little different from normal. Let's pray before we move on to the next thing, because I mean, there's just so many things this morning that I feel like we need to be covered in some prayer. So let's pray together before we get jumping. Okay, here we go. Heavenly Father, what a wonderful time it is to get to hang out with these beautiful women today. I just pray that you would help us to celebrate the fact that you made us women. Father, that we are all created in your image, but specifically for us. We were designed to be women. And in that, we have the joy, the privilege, the honor, the fun of getting to play with colors every day, the colors that you created, that we are reminded every time we see a rainbow in the sky of the magnificence of your creativity. I just pray that you would cover us this morning in this podcast time, that you would help all the technology to do what it's supposed to do, that you would help us be able to hear and to watch and to fellowship together this morning. I just pray that you would cover us in your care and keeping. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen. All right. So before the sky falls down in us, where I talked about this just a minute ago, we are working through Color Me James. So we are in the middle of chapter 2. So congratulations for those of you that have hung out here with me all this time. What a wonderful group of individuals, beautiful women. And you know, I just need to stop saying individuals because we are all here together as a community. It is all for one, one for all. So There you go. So Color Me James. This comes in, well, really right now, 4 different versions. So it's got the ebook. Then we've got the imperfects right now. Amazon kind of messed up a print, not kind of, they messed up a printing. So I've got some imperfects. Those are a little less expensive. We've got the paperbacks from Amazon. And then we've got the spiral bound. Well, all of those you can find on my website. And some of them will actually come shipped to you from other places. So make sure you get your copies so you can join in on the fun together. This is actually going to work. Yay!
Not to judge. You do well when you complete the royal rule of the scriptures. Love others as you love yourself. But if you play up to these so-called important people, you go against the rule and stand convicted by it. You can't pick and choose in these things, specializing in keeping 1 or 2 things in God's law and ignoring others. Love without measure, love without pride. Welcome the stranger, stand side by side. Not rich or poor, not outward finesse, but hearts full of Jesus, nothing less. That's the way he loves, holy and true. The royal rule, now it's up to you. The same God who said, don't commit adultery, also said don't murder. If you don't commit adultery but go ahead and murder, do you think your non-adultery will cancel out your murder? No, you're a murderer. Period.
All right, and I'll let you listen to the rest of that on your favorite music platform. I've got a Spotify playlist. You can find that. Well, I posted it several times on social media, but you can always follow Selah Soul as well because she's always got the newest release of the songs on there too. So Selah Soul, SELAH, and then Soul, SOUL. So make sure you check out that music, and that all goes with our Bible verses that we've been working on. We are going to jump right in, and that is actually not the palette that we're using today. So let me show you what we're using today. Today we've got the Festival by Juvia's Place. We're going to be using 2 colors from there. And then we have, let me turn it the right way. And then we've got the Afro Galactic, because you know I love that blue orbit color that's in here. So we're going to be using the, and my friend Rachel will love this. We're going to be playing for the first time, I think, on here with this palette here. And this is called, I have no idea how you say this, Sakela. It is a complete and exclusive glitter palette. There are glitter shapes, there are glitters. Now, I will tell you, the medium that they are suspended in is not so hot, but the glitter is great. So I'm going to show you a way that you can still use those glitters and not have to suffer from the quality of the glitter medium that they are suspended in. So let me get us moved on here. There we go. Our verse we've been working on is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I have got the chat up. So whatever platform you are on, go ahead and put where you are coming from in there. Let us celebrate that with you. Then also it'll give me an indication of how many people are coming from other countries as well, because I know there's usually several from other places. So for some of you, I know y'all just must not sleep at night because it's like super dark in the night over there. Last week, I think it was, we had Australia. And Australia's on the other side of the world. So I think it's the middle of the night over there. Now, I'm a night owl myself, so I can completely appreciate that. But let us go ahead and jump in because we are going to be having some fun today with some red, white, and blue. So let us start with our Juvia's Place eye primer. This is Eye Prep Eye Prime. And we're going to need this so we get the bluest blue and the reddest red. And we're just going to use like just a teeny. That's going to go on your lids. This will also help our glitter to less be bunchy or to, not spread out nicely. So it's got I actually didn't get enough for that. That's unusual. So this serves several purposes. Also, a lot of times when you use glitter, I don't know. Maybe if you kept your eyes closed all day, you wouldn't have this happen. But you tend to get kind of creasing or pooling in the creases of the eyes, and so this will help with that a little bit as well. So we're going to use that. Then we need to prep and prime our whole face. So we're going to grab our professional primer. This is from Benefit, and this is mattifying. So we're going to do that. We're going to get just about that much right there. And right between the fingertips, we're going to use that any place that you have fine lines and wrinkles, or maybe you experience foundation separation, got a little crow feet, get that right in there. Have combo skin, get that down the center. And our lips are going to be a little funky today, so make sure you get that around your lips too, because it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I don't know, I may look a little weird for work today, but we'll see. Okay, so there we go. Now, we need to move on to our concealer now that we're all prepped and primed. So I'm going to grab my It Cosmetics. This is the shade 11 Light Nude by Under Eye. So if we can get the cap off, there we go. I think I got that on a little crooked. We're just going to use a nice thin bead of that. That is enough to do anything you could have on your face. So we're going to put that any place that you have hyperpigmentation. Maybe you've got acne scars, any kind of darkness. For me, kind of in here in the inner corner of the eye, I got darkness. We're going to do that right over here too. Oh, I see this is going to be a day where y'all been kind of quiet on me. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We're going to use our beauty blender. This is the Real Techniques. What is this called? Magic Air Blend. Some. I don't know if my cat laid on this or what is happening here. That's a little crazy. There we go. So we're going to use a pointy part. What is happening? I'm telling you, I'm sure. Oh, you know what it is? This is actually my beauty blender, which still does not explain why it has cat hair on it. But since this is what we're holding in our hand, I guess this is what we're using today. Typically, these you dampen, but today, since we're here, we're going to use it dry. Let's see how this works. So we're just going to tamp that out. Texture-wise, it's not as smooth going on without it being dampened, but not bad. It might absorb a little extra product because it's not dampened. We'll see that here in a second. Today is Thursday, right? It's not Monday. Okay. There we go. Just around that nose there. So, if you are in America, or maybe you're not, but maybe you celebrate Independence Day with us, go ahead and give me a shout out. What are some fun things that you do to celebrate Independence Day with your family? Do you play any kind of special games? Do you eat a special food? Do you go with special plays? What does that look like for you? I'm going to be using the Lancome Tinty Doll. I am the shade 225N. And even though this is the wrong sponge, we're going to use a pump on here and hope for the best here. There we go. And I'm using the round end of that. The other thing with this particular beauty blender is when you get it wet, it almost doubles in size. So it seems a little small right now because it is. Okay, we're just going to tap that around. So, one thing I love about these lives is that you get like legit, real life. What do you do if? So now you know, if you chunk your makeup in a bag and you have to put your makeup on the car on the way somewhere, you grab the wrong beauty blender. It needs to be wet. What happens next? Now you know, all minus the car part today. Okay, we're just going to tap that in. Isn't God good? It's still working. It's not damp. Still happening. That's okay. It'll all be all right. There we go. We're just going to tap that up into the hairline there. Making sure we get around our brows good. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take that pointy end and kind of work it under the eye just a sec. Make sure we got that nice and good. And then we're going to set all of that because we want that to like stay pretty, stay matte, lightly matte all day long. So I'm going to use the Laura Mercier. And this is the translucent loose setting powder ultra blur in rose. So the rose color kind of gives you just a little bit of brightening to it. And I've been I will tell you one thing about this. The holes in the top of this are pretty good size. So unlike some other powders where you got to like tip it upside down and tap it really good, you do not have to. I didn't even tip this upside down and look how much powder's in there. All I did was tap the side. I am using my Juvia's Place Beauty Blender. We're going to use that pointy part right there. Tap it in, tap it off under the eye in the corner there. Make sure we set that nice and good under that eye area so we don't end up with any kind of creasing. It won't 100% eliminate it, but it will definitely minimize it. Actually, some days I don't have anything. Good morning! Finally, I got some voice from somebody. Yay! Okay, then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to use the wide end of it. We're going to set that in. We're going to tap that off. And we're going to move over to one of our cheeks. Press that in. Make sure to get under that jawline where you blended out that foundation as well. Then we're going to do the other cheek. And then finally, we're going to press that in and do our forehead while not tipping over that container that is very filled of setting powder. And we're just pressing that puff right in. Here we go. And we're going to set that aside. And now we're going to contour. So let's grab our KVD Everlasting Shade Plus Light Refillable Icon contour palette. Okay. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there. You know, I don't know. Whenever tragedy comes, I think Rachel, who's on here with us now, and I were talking about this the other day. Whenever something tragic comes or stressful comes, humor has a way of breaking that, as does prayer, which is why we started by covering ourselves in prayer. So pardon me if I'm cracking a lot of jokes today, because it's just a way to relieve the stress and tension of whatever this is that keeps happening like crazy today. So I'm using a dual-ended, this is actually a foundation brush from IT Cosmetics. I'm going to use this end for the bronzer and this lighter end for the highlighter. So we're going to get right there in that contour palette. I'm going to go from the top of the ear, kind of in a curved motion to the corner of the eye. Stay above that hollow of that cheek, and then right beside the hairline there. Same thing over on this side. And if I seem to be going a little bit faster with this today, it's because I know we got a lot of crazy fixing to happen with our lips and our eyes. So I'm going to use the flat side of this still. I'm going to go up here, blend that in up along that hairline. Now I'm going to switch to the skinny side of that. I'm going to go right under the jawline from the ear to the corner of the mouth. And we're going to do that same thing over here. Then we're going to take that same skinny side. We're going to go beside the nose. I'm only going to dip that in one time, just pressing lightly, just under that tip. That's going to narrow our nose just a little bit. That's right. Laughter and prayer, best medicine. Okay, so we're going to take the fluffy big side. We're going to go in that highlighter, hit the top of the cheek, right beside the eye socket. Same thing, top of the cheek, right beside the eye socket. Same thing, right down that nose. Right down here. We'll make sure we hit this really good, because you want that Cupid's bow getting that nice light shadow on it. I'm just going to come back with that, make sure we've left that. There we go. I'm going to take the tip of this and tap it in that dark one. We're just going to do just a little bit on that outside just to give us a little dimension. Okay, so now we have some shapes, some highs and lows. So we're going to add just a tidge of color in there for today. We don't need too much because there's going to be a lot going on, but let's do add a little bit. So I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place Volume 4, and we're going to go in this lighter color here with a traditional blush brush. We're just going to swirl that around just a little bit because these are very pigmented. We're going to go between the bronzer and the highlighter, and between the bronzer and the highlighter. Same thing. Now I'm going to get, actually, let me do, there we go. We're going to do that same thing just right up here, kind of on top of the bronzer that you put. And whatever's left on there, go ahead and hit the tip of your nose just a smidge and that chin. We don't want them to like turn pink, but we do want them to have just a little bit of color. Okay, so now we have our contouring completed for today. So let us, well, let's let the verse roll around. We're going to say the verse in between because that is how we roll here. So it is a little bit of a longer verse, so it's going to take us just a second, but that's okay. That gives me a chance to get my scripty thing scrolling down. So there we go. Here we go. While you're doing that, I want you to grab a red lip liner and a red lipstick. I'm going to be using the MAC Ruby Woo. So love that color. And then I'm going to show you how to glitter topper that. Sorry, I was making sure I had the glitter. I'm going to show you how to glitter topper that. So our verse has rolled around. You got your red lipstick in hand. Let's say that verse together out loud, right where you are. You do well when you complete the royal rule of the scriptures. Love others as you love yourself. But if you play up to these so-called important people, you go against the rule and stand convicted by it. You can't pick and choose. Oh, sorry. I'm talking faster than it's going. You can't pick and choose in these things, specializing in one or two things in God's law and then ignoring the others. See, the same God who said, don't commit adultery also said, don't commit murder. Okay, sorry, I got ahead of it again. But if you go ahead and commit murder, do you think that your non-adultery will cancel out your murder? No, you are a murderer, period. And that is James 2, 8-11. Now, it's not specifically talking about just murder only. It's talking about if you don't do one sin, but you do another sin, do you think the one thing where you were good is going to make the other thing where you're bad? It's not like that, because it is not about works that any man should boast. Okay, that's another conversation. So let's go ahead and get on with our lips. I'm going to grab my Revlon. This is a lip liner in the color red or rouge. And so we're going to line our lips with that first, starting in that Cupid's bow. This feels like it might need just a little bit of help. Okay, so my lip liner seems a little bit dry, so it's not coming out very nicely. So I'm going to take it on the tissue that I always keep in my lap for such situations, and I'm just going to rub it on there. Sorry, you can't really see. I'm just going to rub it on there and kind of rough up that tip to try to get whatever the dried tip is off. And now let's try it again. There you go. And now we're going to round that out to the outside corner. If this was a sharpening pencil, you could just sharpen it again, maybe just a little, like one turn. But this one's a retractable non-sharpening. And again, I'm going outside that lip line just a little bit to grab a little extra real estate. And then we're going to do the bottom. And then to the outside corner. Now that Ruby Woo is a pretty substantial red, so you don't need to worry too much about the red lip lining. But in the event that you're not using Ruby Woo, I just love how the lip liner gives you a nice clean edge. Okay, so two things. First thing is, well, three things really. You're gonna grab your Ruby Woo, which is just a beautiful red lipstick. I'm gonna grab the Sakela palette because it has a gorgeous red in it right here, and we're gonna use that. And then to finish it out, just because we, can, we're gonna be using the Urban Decay, and this one is the Glam Rock. We're going to use this glitter liner as well, which typically is used around the eye. But, if you've hung with me any amount of time, if it's good for the face, put it anywhere on there. Okay, so back to, we've got the Ruby Woo. We're going to put lipstick on our lip just like we were doing a normal lip. Here we go. Just a nice red lip, and let's do the bottom. Take a step back. Make sure you like the shape of what you just did. There we go. the I, okay, I got to show you this. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it up. Yes, this is so true. It's a marvelous palette. So the link for the palette will be in the show notes, but I'll text it to you too. Okay, so here we go. So Sakela, our lipstick is still, I don't want to say wet, but fresh. We're going to grab that Sakela palette. Right here, we've got this beautiful red glitter. So we're just going to get our finger in there. And now you can see what I mean about the glitter medium. It's just not suspended anything great. So I'm going to try it this way and see how it works first. And if we need to go to other measures, we can. So on the tip of the finger, just press it in. Now I'm getting it pretty close to the edge of my lip because I want the whole lip. Can you really see that? Look at that glittery goodness. Okay, so now let me get that off the tip of my finger. Another reason why today you're just going to be having glitter all over you. It's going to be a sparkly day. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful red lip. Now we're going to do something a little more fun. We're going to take this Urban Decay liquid eyeliner. Make sure you give it a good shake because these do separate a little bit. So we're going to just mix that up a little. And you'll see it has a nice tip on there. So we're just going to make sure that the tip is nice and glittered. And then we're going to line the outside of our lip with this, like this. Now, I can't talk while I'm doing this, obviously, but you will have to go in and out quite a few times. Okay, it is so quiet when I'm not talking. Let me see if I can get the music to go again. You can see that line there on the top of the lip. Okay. Let me try. Let's go ahead and For this, I'm not going to start in the center. I'm going to start on the outside corner and just work my way across. Okay, it's still giving me the error. Let me come back over here. I'm just going to look at the chat. Here we go. We're just going to have to deal a little bit with the silence today. Okay, almost, almost. Okay, so now we've got the red glittery lips, and the lips are outlined in silver. Now, this works great with any color scheme. You can do that. Oh, that's okay. Nice to see you, Anthea. Yes, I know. I was late with the video scheduled. It's been a little crazy around here. So, anyways, I apologize for not getting that posted faster for you like usual. I promised to do better. And Anthea, because you weren't here earlier, so as a result of all that kind of crazy stuff, we covered ourselves in prayer today. So while today is Thursday, it's really Monday. So we are going to do a patriotic look. So here we go. We got the lips going on. We got the red. We got the silver outline. What are the eyes going to do? Let us get ready for this. And again, two dark colors and a white so that you have opposing color so that you get that nice contrast. So if you're not in the US or you want to do this look at some other point, still an option for you. So I am going to start out with just an all over brush. Not all over, excuse me. This is just a blending brush. So this is the M456. I like that for up here. So we're going to do that one, and we're going to start out with the Festival palette from Juvia's Place. And we're going to start out in this color right up here. Well, just kidding. We're going to start in the Adogu right here. And that's just going to be kind of a fleshy-ish color. We're just going to go right up here on the eyebrow with that. It's just going to give us something to blend into without actually like being a color. So if you have darker pigmented skin than me, any color that is kind of a neutral for you, just put that there. We don't really want like color. We just want something to blend into gently. So we're going to put that there. I'm going to set that brush aside. I'm going to now grab a all over shadow brush. Oh, I'm telling you, it's going to be a day. I went to wipe my brush off on my tissue, but my tissue wasn't in my lap anymore. So now my jeans have eyeshadow on them. Okay, we're going to take this all over eyeshadow brush. We're going to go in this right here, which we're still in the Festival palette for right now. And then we're going to grab, I think this one's Yuli. Yeah, Yuli right here. We're just going to get it on one side of that, and we're just going to go straight down the center here. We're just going straight down the middle of this, and we're going to do about a third of the eye right here in the middle in that Yuli. All the way to the bottom where your lashes are. So all the way from just above that bone right here, and then all the way down. Yuli is just a nice white, sparkly. We are going to use a topper over here in a minute, but it's going to be kind of like a placeholder for us while we're working on our two other colors. There we go. Again, we're just going from that bone right there all the way down, a third of the way, all the way down to the bottom. There we go. So that is that color. So I am going to use an angled shadow brush now. This one I think is actually, this is a MAC something, but any angled shadow brush will do you. I know Morphe has their new professional line of brushes out. So I don't actually own a set of those just yet. But I know they have a nice angled brush in there as well. So let's go ahead. So I couldn't decide which way I wanted to go. Is it red on the inside, blue on the outside, or is it blue on the inside, the red's on the outside? So I'm going to go with blue on the inside, red on the outside. Just decided that executive decision from myself. So we're going to grab our Afro Galactic palette. And we're going to use this color right here because it is spectacular. We're going to use Orbit right here. And this one does have a little bit of shimmer to it, so super fun. So we're going to just on the flat side of that angled brush, just get that right on there, nice and blue. We're going to go right on the inside all the way up to that eye socket. So right next to that white that you put on there. And you don't need to worry too much about a blend. You don't need to worry too much about softening the edge or whatever. We'll get to that in just a minute. So for right now, we're just doing this. And we're going all the way down to that lash line. Let's go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. All the way up. And we're just going right up to that white. Well, I think that was called Yuli. And again, it works better rather than, put a lot of shadow on your brush and then run the risk of fallout. It works better if you will just put a little and go over the area a couple of times. I'm actually going to bring that in just a smidge more. There we go. As, as weird as that looks right now, it'll be fine in a second. Hang on, hang on. Okay, so this is what we got right now. We are going to grab, do I have another angled brush with me? Let me see. I don't. So let me just go ahead and grab this. This one is Morphe M321. If you have another angled brush, that would probably be best right now. But alas, I don't have another one. I'm going to switch back to I'm only using the two palettes. So back to the Festival. Love the Festival palette. I know. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. You aren't. Yes. I'm sure England probably has its own tradition, national holiday, day of remembrance, Independence Day, some kind of thing like that where you celebrate being in England. So there we go. Now, okay, so with that said, let me just say, we got a little, hold on, we got a spammer guy. Let me get rid of him. Add to block list. There we go. Okay. So we're going to take this. This would be really pretty with, you could do a purple and an orange. You could do a red and a green if it's like near Christmas time. Maybe it's Halloween. You could do an orange and a black. So lots of different variations to this. Don't feel like you need to just stick with the red and blue. Okay, so I'm going to grab the Festival palette. This is the, what is it called? Izafa right here. I like this one a little bit better than the red that's in the Afro Galactic. The red in the Afro Galactic is a little kind of an orange red, and this one's more of a blue red, which is more of what the Ruby Woo is. So we're going to take this. We're just going to get a little bit on the tip of that. We're going to go on the outside. And we're going to get that on the very outside. Going all the way up to, I'm going to bring that out just a little bit too. Let's go up and out. There we go. So it's almost a little bit of a triangle kind of looking thing here. There we go. Let's do that over here. Here we go. Gonna go out here just a little bit. Think I need to bring it down just a little bit. There we go. A little more right here. Okay. Let me back up just a little bit. Okay, now that we're looking completely like a crazy person. Ah, there we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and come around on the under part of the eye, and then we'll fix that top part. Well, not fix, but finish the look of that top part. Okay, I'm going to use this right here, which is a smudger. This is a Morphe M508. We're going to use that. Hold on. Let me get that. There we go. So we're going to start out with the, I think I'll do the red first since I've got that palette in my hand. We're just going to get it right on the tip of that smudger. We're going to come under the eye and go about halfway. On the under the eye, I'm not going to do the white that I have in the center up on the top because that's going to go in the corner here in just a second. And we're going to wrap that around to that outside that you got going on there. Ooh, that brush tried to land on the floor. Now I'm going to take that smudger and I'm going to dust it off unless you got a second one, which looking over here, it doesn't look like I did bring a second one. I'm going to take that smudger. I'm going to go into the orbit just on that tip again. And we're going to do this inside here. And we are going right up into that lash line. There you go. Same thing on the other side. Okay, now I do see that I had quite a bit of fallout from that little project. So we're going to take that fluffy brush and just dust that off. Now we're going to grab our, where did I set it? There we go. We're going to grab the Fula. We used this the other day from Juvia's Place. The Juvia's Place, I believe it's part of the Culture Duochrome Liquid Eyeshadow series. This one's called the Fula, and it is a white liquid eyeshadow. Has a little hint of blue kind of to it. So we are going to start out with that. And I'm just going to come down the center here. And then I'm just going to use my finger to blend that out a little bit. Now we've got a nice iridescent happening. I'm going to go down the center. We're just going to blend that. You're just tapping it over the edge of the red and the blue just a little bit. And that's going to give you just a little bit of a shimmer to that center. We do want to get some of that on the inside corner. So I'm going to grab the little smudger fine liner from It Cosmetics. And we're going to take just a little bit of that right there on the tip of that. And I'm going to put it right here on the inside corner. All right. Now I want to clean up that harsh top edge that we have happening right now. So we're going to go back to our fluffy brush that we have. And we're just going to blend that out a little bit. That was in the first color that we put on. We're just going to smooth that out a little so the edge isn't so harsh. There we go. Just blend that out a little. Just go over the edge a couple of times where the light is meeting the dark. And it looks like maybe I got a little crazy with my blending right here. So I'm just going to go back over that with that orbit. There we go. So we are going to line what we've got going on. So you can see we've got the red, white, and blue happening. We got some sparkle already. We're going to take our liner. We're going to line from the outside, about halfway. Same thing on the other side. We're going to go on the bottom from the outside corner to about halfway, right in that lash line. Just want to give a little color down there to kind of break up. Okay, I might need someone to hum or something because it's very quiet. Okay, so we've got just a little bit color on the underneath side. Now we're going to wear lashes. I told you we're going to be doing that bring the sparkle or bring the sparkle lashes. So we're going to take our Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid liner. We're going to go ahead and line from the right to the left all the way across. Just a nice thin line. There we go. Same thing on the other side. Okay, and that's just going to give us a nice runway for our lashes when we get to that here in just a second. Now, I see we got a lot of this red sparkle on our lips. I think we need some of that up on our eyes to kind of balance it out. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to grab that Sakela palette again. I'm going to go back into that red glitter. I'm just going to get that on the tip of my finger. And I'm just going to press that in over here. We don't want like a whole lot, but we do want a little bit. So we're going to just get, oh man, I just dipped it in the pink on accident. Okay, so we're going to try that again. There we go. We're just going to press that in on the red. The blue's got enough of the shimmer already from that Orbit Afro Galactic palette. And this is actually sticking pretty good. I don't think we need that glitter medium just for this little bit we're doing. If you were trying to do a full-on fill-in glitter with this, I think you would actually need glitter medium. My favorite is the NYX. I think it does better than any other that I have seen before. So we're just going to get that in there. Now we got some sparkling happening up there. We got some shimmering happening up there. We got some glitter on our lips going on. So let's go ahead and do our brows. And then, isn't it beautiful? The blue, Anthea is so correct. Okay, so I'm going to grab my brow product is the Bad Gal Bang in the shade Wild Plum. Get whatever your brow product is. Even though we're doing this super fun look, you want to do your brows because it'll look weird if you don't have any brows. There we go. Oh, you know what would have been fun? I should have done them in blue mascara. Well, too late now. So if you have blue mascara, do your brows in blue. That would be so fun. Okay. Same thing on the other side. There we go. And I'm really hoping over this long 3-day weekend that we get that I finally get my new hair color done. That will be super fun. I cannot wait. I think I'm going to go to a barber though and have a special haircut done. So it's not just about the hair color, it's about the cut too. But we'll see if that happens or not. So we got red, white, and blue happening up there. Now we're going to do our bring in the sparkle lashes. Now I've already wore this pair before, but let me show you what we got here. So this lash kit from Allure specializes in sparkly lashes. Let me see if I can get it out here. Each one of these Here, there we go. Each one of these has shimmer in them. There's like glitter in the lashes. Can you see that? Trying to show it to you. This one right here has the most. This one is the Bewitched. It actually has a filament thread in it. Can you see that? There you go. It's maybe a little bit blurry, but that filament is what's really going to make these sparkle. So I'm going to set those down because I'm not quite ready for that. First, we need to put a little mascara on our lashes, and then that will kind of tone down the brightness and the boldness of, not completely, but it'll tone it down a little bit, the brightness and the boldness of the shadows that we've used here. And you'll see when it all comes together, it's going to look balanced and beautiful. So let's grab our the right direction, our Onyx Great Grip Lash Curler from Tweezerman or whatever lash curler you're using. And we're going to go ahead and get us a little bit of a curl going on here. We're just going to read whatever verse part is up right now. So you can't pick and choose in these things. Specialize in keeping one or two things in God's law and ignoring others. The same God who said, don't commit adultery, also said, don't commit murder. If you don't commit adultery, but go ahead and murder, do you think your non-adultery will cancel out your murder? Okay, I'm going to switch. I'm going to go to the other side. No, you're a murderer, period. James chapter 2, verse 8 to 11. You do well when you complete the royal rule of the scriptures. Love your neighbor, love others as you do, as you love yourself. Sorry, switching translations up. But if you play up to these so-called important people, you go against the rule and stand convicted by it. Okay. Yes, they are so shiny. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my what have I got today? The Monsieur Big in the waterproof, and we're gonna go ahead and put on just one coat of mascara because we just need our lashes to blend with those lashes. So we're just gonna do one coat, making sure we come back on those tips though. If you have black lashes already, you might possibly be able to avoid this step, but I will tell you, by putting that mascara on, you're just going to make those lashes look a little fuller. So if fuller is what you like, well, why would you be wearing false lashes otherwise? Then, just go ahead and do the one coat. Oh, right. So, and I am using the waterproof today because usually when I got this much sparkle and glitter going on, my eyes will go into protest and they'll be watering a bit. So I'm just preemptively striking against the eye watering that is probably coming at me for the day. So just getting that one coat on there, making sure we're sweeping back on the tips. There we go. And then we're going to do, I saw a little red glitter fallout. So let me just nab that before we get too far. There we go. And now I'm going to be careful when you might pick up the. Seriously, the lashes got those monofilament in there. It's like I've got the antenna covered foil things that I think it was like 70 shows or something that had that. Okay, so we're going to do the regular lash mascara on the bottom because those obviously do not get false lashes. So let me go ahead and do that. And this is a fairly new tube of mascara, but I feel like it's kind of drying out. And what is that little guy? There we go. Did I get it? Yes. Okay. Gotta love a hair on your mascara wand. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that. We are sweeping under the tips on those bottom lashes as well. Making sure we get all those little nice little teeny lashes on the inside corner. And now let's do the bottom lashes on the other side. We're going from inside corner to outside corner, from the root of the lash all the way to the tip of the lash. And then we're sweeping up under those tips just a little bit. Okay, almost. And then we'll get to play with those sparkly lashes. Okay. Let me just give one more look, make sure. Da, da, da. Yes, I really do wish I had done blue brows. So if you're watching this after the fact, go ahead and grab your blue mascara and put that on your brows instead. Here we go. Okay, so I have already wore these evidently once before. So I am praying that these are already trimmed to my lash length. These do have a little bit of a flare on them. You can see that the outside corner here, well, the inside corner is a little bit smaller than the outside corner. So it'll be easy to tell which lash goes where on these. If you are just pulling these out of your tray, you're going to trim from the outside corner. Do kind of a what I call a dry fit. Before you put it on, just sort of hold it up to your eye. You can use your lash tool and then see how, if it's going to be too long. Almost everybody has to trim a little bit of lash off. It's how they were made to do. Kind of like how your nails, when you do like press on nails, they come with all these different sizes, same kind of thing. So you're just making it custom for you. So I'm going to grab my Allure 18-hour glue. I haven't actually used this in a minute, so I'm going to shake it up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and get that adhesive on the top of that band right here. There you go. And then we're also going to get it on the inside of that band. This will give us a little better assurance that that lash is not going to move. Sometimes these fun like party bands can be a little more stiff because they're trying to do a little bit more, you know, with that extra monofilament in there. So just make sure you get good coverage for your lash adhesive. Okay, I feel like I'm doing this one kind of sideways. There we go. Let's try this. There we go. And then we're going to get that back side of that band. Okay. And I also see, as I'm here holding this, that there is a little tiny extra hair thingy. Let's see if I can trim him off. There. Because that looks like something that is probably going to poke and be irritating all day long. And you're going to be thinking, oh, I hate these lashes. What is going on wrong here? It's just because you had a little a hair that went awry. You know, like sometimes your cosmetic brushes, every once in a while, a hair will go, eek! Well, that's kind of what these do too. So we are going to give the lashes just a second. I'm going to pick back up the first one that I put the adhesive on, and I'm going to wait till it turns a little not so white. We're going to give it a little bit of a curl just because we want to make sure, like I said, these have a tendency to be a little more stiff. So we're going to give it a little more curl so it's kind of more naturally rounded so that when I put it on my eye, it will hopefully, you know, not be agitating because it's not the right shape. So inside edge, this one's the shorter. This is going to go on this eye right here. Put it right on that lash line. Oh my gosh, these are too much. Okay. Then we're going to put the inside corner here. There we go. Just going to make sure that they are playing nicely with my lashes. There we go. Smush them together. Use a tip to work your lashes into it. The inside corner, this looks like it needs just a little extra convincing. There we go. So we're just going to hold it down there for a few seconds. Okay. Can you see that? Ha! I love that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to give it a little bit of curving. We're going to make sure that it's got a nice shape to it. This is the smaller, so this is going to go on the inside. Set that right there in the middle, right on your lash line. Inside's going to go on the inside, following that eyeliner line that you put there. We're going to get the outside corner to the outside there. We're going to make sure that they are meeting with each other, so we're just kind of pressing them together. Taking that tip, Working our lashes in. All right. Now these don't have as much curl, like curl up as normal. So I'm just going to kind of try to give them an upward press. But there, can you see that? That. Ah! So cute. Okay. So now we've got our red, white, and blue. We've got our red, white, and blue on the underneath. We've got lots of fun happening. We're going to go ahead and add our regular highlighter, and then we're going to do one more fun thing on here. So I'm going to grab my Heroin Glow 2. We're going to take our Anastasia highlighter brush. We're going to swirl that around. We're just going to give a little right here on the top. And then we're going to come right down the center, making sure we hit the tip of that nose. Okay, now, what do we know is on the American flag? American flag has stars, right? So we're going to go back to our Cicala palette, and we are going to use, I need to take this off. Well, let's just put it up here. Okay, we're going to grab, let's do, I'm going to do this one right here. You can see, well, I don't know if you can or not, but there's little stars in here, and this one's kind of an iridescent white. So, wait, maybe I want the silver one. I take it back. I'm going to use this one here. Because I've got the silver lined around my lips, I'm going to pick up a little bit on that silver. So I'm going to stick my middle finger right in here, and it's going to pick up like just a little bit. And we're going to go right here and around here. Let's go ahead and grab just a little bit more of that. We're going to go right here and right here. Now, I don't know how this is going to take in a picture today, but now these do, I wish these just had stars in them, but they do have moons as well. So it is what it is. Once upon a time I had, I think it was a, what was that? LA Girl. There you go. I'm just going to about where the red is, and then just kind of bringing that down and around. So if you were in a room with black light, I have every confidence that the black light would catch these particular, oh, now I've lost my tissue altogether, that the black light would catch the shimmer of those colors. So you can see. There you go. That shimmer just working its way around there. So, oh, there it goes. All right. So we have now done a full glam red, white, and blue look, getting ready for the July 4th U.S. national holiday, celebrating our independence. And I hope that you have fun with it, whatever colors it is that you choose to use, whether, you're in America or not in America, you can still do red, white, and blue. Still a color scheme that people use. So, and then enjoying those sparkly lashes today. So I hope you have fun with this. I look forward to seeing you throughout the week on a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus on social media. Make sure that you share with me a picture of what you have done with your look. I would love to see what colors you chose, how you got it to work out for you. And let me see if I can get back over to here we go to our slides here. Maybe not. Okay, so Thank you for hanging out with me in spite of the technical difficulties that we have endured. So, just a reminder, working through our Bible verses this week. You know what? I'm going to send out a reminder deck. Thank you, Anthea. I'm going to send out a reminder deck this week of just the flashcards for the Bible verses, so that you'll have those to refresh your memory as we are in the middle of chapter 2 right now. So let's say the verse that we're working on right now together. You do well when you complete. Oh, hang on just a second. There we go. Sorry, another spammer guy. Okay, you do well when you complete the royal rule. Love others as you love yourself. But if you stay, hold on. Yeah, but if you play up to these so called important people, you go against the rule and are convicted by it. You can't pick and choose one or two of these things. So you can't specialize in one or two things in God's law without keeping the others or without ignoring the others. There we go. The same God who said don't commit adultery also said don't murder. If you don't commit adultery, do you think but you go ahead and commit murder, do you think that non-adultery is going to cancel out your murder? No. You're a murderer, period. Okay, so there we go. Let me see if this will actually scroll down for me. There we go. Okay, yay. So this is all coming from Color Me James ebook. I've got a less expensive imperfect binding. We've got the perfect binding from Amazon. We've got the spiral editions, which you can get on my website. So even though we're in the middle of chapter 2, you can jump in at any time. All the videos are available for you. I am working on and hopefully will complete this weekend because I got a 3-day weekend. We'll complete the email list for you. So that will walk you through every single week and send that email out to you at that weekly pace. So feel free to, jump in where you are, start where you can. All right. So Beauty and Grace Insider. So what the Cherish Queen level is going to come with the ebook. So you get that for free with the Cherish Queen level. That makes you privy to insider information on what look we're going to be doing when. So that way you can have your palettes ready to go. You can be doing it straight along with me without guessing. And so just lots of fun there, some extra opportunities. And we're getting ready to begin kind of a verse off where we're going to recite the verses to each other. Now that we're deep enough, we got some verses under our belt, we're going to use that platform as an opportunity. That's available on YouTube. So you're going to go to the YouTube channel and then up in the address bar, just type in /join and that will get you to it. Or you can use the link that is on your screen right now. All right. So let me send you out with a blessing as we go throughout this week. This is coming from Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 to 26. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, how thankful I am for all of these ladies that have come and have hung out with me here today. I am so appreciative for them. And I pray that you would help each one of us to just enjoy colors, celebrate being a woman, and just embrace the beauty in that. Whether we like a lot of makeup or a little bit of makeup, I pray that you would just help us to treasure that gift that you gave us. And thank you for making us in your image. And anyways, I thank you for working past all the technical difficulties that we had. What a blessing that was. And I just pray that you would send us out in grace and peace this week. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, it has been a delight to hang out with you here today. And I hope that you have enjoyed the makeup that we did today. Apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know if we're going to get to hear the outro on the way out. But let's give it a try and see if the video will work on the way out. Whether it does or doesn't, I hope that you have a wonderful week. Goodbye and God bless you. Mwah. And it is not going to work today. So, I hope that you have a great rest of your week. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the bonus session. Give me a shout out and a picture of what you did. I can't wait to see it.